I'm Fred Smith, and I'd like to welcome you to Cultural Conversations with Mississippi State University Libraries. My guest today is Stephen Cunneto. Stephen is the Associate Dean for Mississippi Libraries. Welcome, Stephen. Glad to have you here.
Thank you, Fred.
2017 was a big year for the Mississippi State University Libraries, and probably the biggest thing that we had happen was the grand opening of the Ulysses S. Grant Presidential Library and Museum and the Franklin Virginia Williams collection of Lincolniana. That took years to make happen, and I know you were involved from the very beginning. And could you tell us a little bit about the process of how it all came about up to the point to where we had the grand opening?
Sure, love to. Yeah, you're right. 2017 was a big year for Mississippi State and certainly for the university libraries as we wrapped up the expansion project for Mitchell Memorial Library. The expansion project was a 21,000 square foot expansion of the Mitchell Memorial Library, and it was an approximately $11 million project that took essentially 4 to 5 years to actually complete, and that, of course, goes from the fundraising stages that Dr. Keenan was very instrumental in, working with the legislature to obtain the funding, down through working with the architects, working with exhibit designers, as well as our entire staff to really conceptualize what we wanted this new facility to be. But it was a great project for us to work on, and we certainly want to thank all of the faculty and staff and certainly our visitors for being so patient with us as we worked through this process, because it kind of disrupted the campus with the closing of the streets and noise level in the libraries.
Well, it was amazing to take a roof and turn it into a 21,000 foot just world-class museum.
It really was. But I think the end product has been great. 2017 allowed us to actually open that new facility. And as I said, it's 21,000 square feet, and it includes 2 museums as well as office space for our staff, a processing room, as well as a cold storage room. The cold storage is critical for us because we have such rare and unique documents in these collections that has to be stored in a climate-controlled facility. So having that element included in the facility was very important to us.
Yeah, you can't stay in there for very long.
No, you're right. You're right. You can't stay there for very long at all.
It's quite cold.
Of course, the cornerstone of the new facility are the 2 galleries, the Ulysses S. Grant Presidential Library Museum, which of course features the collections and artifacts of Ulysses S. Grant. But then also we have as a part of it, the Franklin Virginia Williams collection of Lincolniana. And this is another collection that was given to Mississippi State over the course of the 2017, another aspect of 2017 that was very remarkable for us. Franklin Virginia Williams gave us this collection, which has been valued at nearly $3 million. And that collection is now showcased in that gallery as well.
It is an absolutely amazing collection. And what's in the museum is only a fraction of what's there. I mean,
right.
Justice Williams had 15,000 books and pamphlets and 15,000 artifacts. So it'll be changed out over the years, I'm sure.
Right.
So it's a good time to come back and see it again and again.
Right, right. We don't want this to be a stagnant either of the museums to be stagnant. There'll be rotating images and artifacts that will be displayed throughout the museum. We actually have some images that we'd like to show that kind of show the type of museum that we've developed. And we really wanted this to be a very interactive and educational museum experience for visitors. It includes not only obviously artifacts, documents from the collections, but also statues that we had commissioned. We worked with a company out of Brooklyn, New York to create 4 Grant statues that depict Grant at 4 different stages of his life, and we have some pictures of those statues.
And those are all life-size. From him being a small cadet at West Point all the way to being about to pass away in his wheelchair.
Right,
so.
And the great selfie opportunities is what we've learned. But we also have some interactive displays that we've built into this, because we wanted this to be an interactive educational experience, as I said, that would attract students as well as certainly as adults. So we've built in these interactives that tell the story of Grant and try to put aside and let people understand some of the myths that were out there about Grant. So it's really an educational opportunity to delve into his life, but also to delve into some of the objects and the collections that are not on display. One of the other unique things that we were able to do in working with one of the video production companies was to develop 4 different stories, four different videos that are on display in the first interactive display. And it really talks about Grant as in his early life as a general, as a president, certainly as time after his presidency. But we were also able to work with different historians to have them come in and talk about various aspects of Grant's life, which was a great opportunity for us. And we actually were able to work with James Earl Jones to do the narration for us for that video.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing.
We also, of course, as you know, the grand opening for the museum was in November of this year, of 2017. And that turned out to be a huge event for us. We really weren't sure how many people were going to attend, but it turned out to be over 500 to 600 people that actually attended the grand opening ceremony. We, of course, planned that for many, many months, and were able to pull together a great slate of panel members that were able to talk during the grand opening. Of course, we started it off with Dr. Keenum, who spoke eloquently about the Grant Presidential Library, why it was at Mississippi State, as well as this wonderful gift that we've had from Frank and Virginia Williams. Then we, of course, heard from Governor Bryant, who talked about the impact that this museum will have on not only Starkville and Mississippi State, but also on Mississippi, as we hope that this will help with tourism in Mississippi. Of course, we were also very lucky to have Congressman Greg Harper, come to be a part of the program. And he's been a longtime supporter of Mississippi State and certainly of Mississippi State University libraries. And in fact, during the program, we had he had an opportunity to announce something that we had no idea he was going to be bringing up, which is that he's going to be donating his collection, his congressional collection, to the Congressional and Political Research Center at Mississippi State. So that was a
great quite a surprise to everybody there.
It was definitely a surprise, and a surprise to the dean. She had been asking for it for many years, but he waited until this perfect opportunity to make that happen.
It was absolutely the perfect time.
Also, Greg Harper was very instrumental in getting our other two keynote speakers. We're very lucky to have the Archivist of the United States, David Ferriero, speak, and he did a great job in talking about how this presidential library ties into the other presidential libraries. So we're very honored to have him, as well as Dr. Carla Hayden, who is the Librarian of Congress. She was here as well, and she spoke eloquently as well about the historical importance of these collections being in Mississippi and what it means to Mississippi and to the nation. And she actually said in her remarks that this was a pinch me moment for her when she got to go through the collections to see these rare documents on display. And that's great for someone like
she's
Carla
seeing
Hayden.
a lot of really fine material in her position. And
Right.
for her to be impressed, it really is a world-class museum.
It really is. And that's really what we wanted this to be. It was like you said, a world-class museum that would be open for visitors from all walks of life to come to see what we have on display in these museums. Of course, after the grand opening, we had a grand ribbon cutting ceremony, and then we let people go in and look at various aspects of the museums, as well as our orientation room, which is an area where they can watch an orientation video. And then we let people explore the back office areas of the museums and of the Presidential Library.
There were at least 500 people there because I tried to get a program and they had all been given out. So,
Right.
Yeah, there's a picture of Dr. Hayden looking at one of the exhibits in the Lincoln collection of Frank and Virginia Williams.
Right. This really turned out to be a coup for Mississippi State to get this collection, the Williams collection, that is. We just brought it together in early 2017, had the collection donated and delivered in May of 2017. And then we had to create this display and this exhibit in the museum with only 4 or 5 or 6 months before the grand opening. So we were very fortunate to have that completed by the time the grand opening happened in November.
Well, it certainly turned out, it was, for the people who were there that day, it was a very special, almost magical moment to see all of these people together and celebrating this collection. And so, we were certainly thrilled with all of that. What's the future hold for the museum?
We hope that over the course of the next, obviously, several years, that we'll have many, many visitors come to see the museums. We want students to come from their schools. We hope that tour groups will come from around the country to explore the exhibits, to learn more about Abraham Lincoln, to learn more about Ulysses S. Grant. So we're trying to get the word out now about the fact that these museums exist, and encouraging tour groups especially to come to Starkville and to come to Mississippi State to see them.
Well, researchers are going to find that this is one of the best places in the country to come for research on Civil War and Reconstruction.
Right.
And that certainly is one of the hopes, that we'll have more and more researchers come to Starkville and come to Mississippi State and to the Mitchell Memorial Library. So any other thoughts about?
I would also like to mention that during the opening ceremonies, we wanted to also honor Frank and Virginia Williams for their wonderful donation to Mississippi State. And as a result of that, we were able to launch the inaugural Frank and Virginia Williams lecture series on Abraham Lincoln and Civil War Studies. And that'll be an annual program that we will have. We've already set the date for the 2018 program. And that'll be another opportunity to bring people back to Mississippi State to talk about Abraham Lincoln, to talk about Civil War studies, and to learn more about that era of our country's history.
Okay, what are the hours that the museum's open?
The museum's open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5 p.m., 7:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m., and then on Saturdays from 10 until 2 p.m. And that's, of course, when the library is open.
Well, I want to thank you for being here with us today and telling us all about this wonderful opening that we had. And it certainly was one of the finest things that's happened at the library in years.
Thank you.
We now have a 30-second video to highlight the museum for you. And please enjoy this, and we will see you again next month.
Have you visited MSU's Mitchell Memorial Library lately? They have added an entire floor that you've got to see. The 21,000 square foot addition is home to the Ulysses S. Grant Presidential Library and the Frank and Virginia Williams collection of Lincolniana. That makes Mississippi State one of only 6 universities hosting a presidential library. Pretty cool, huh? And you will not believe all that is here. The Grant Museum includes 4 life-size statues of President Grant, interactive displays, exhibits, and materials that chronicle Grant's life and videos featuring the voice of James Earl Jones. The Williams Gallery features 100 priceless artifacts, including original documents, rare books, statues, and 19th century artwork representing the life and times of Abraham Lincoln. These museums and collections make Mississippi State a leading destination for research on the Civil War and 2 presidents who shaped the course of American history. So make your plans now to experience this state-of-the-art edition. For more information, visit us online.